Well, interdependence. It's something that I've discovered somehow. It's kind of rediscovering the wheel or the water. It's been so obvious and so clear. It's always been, sorry, it's always been there, but I don't see people talk about it that much, at least not in a way that I want to talk about it with you today. So interdependence is something that can definitely boost our business growth, but also personal growth and collaboration, like some of you mentioned already, these keywords. So who am I to talk about all of this? Well, I'm a co-founder, marketing director, marketing manager, marketing executive. I have my own agency. I'm trying to develop it in some way or another. I have very conflicted thoughts about it right now. I'm also speaking, I'm lecturing, I've written a book that is now being edited. I'm creating content. And what does it make of me, all of this? Like a Wonder Woman or something? Well, like for 20 minutes in a day, maybe yes, but most of that is me being tired and exhausted and trying to run all of these things by myself would be absolutely impossible. I would not be here with you today. I would just have to do all of these different things. And what helps me in a broader sense, in a much more strategic sense, is being dependent on other people and growing something together and building the frameworks and ecosystems to make sure that not only I am able to grow my business in general, but I also see several steps ahead. So let's take a step back. Let's first try to understand what is the mindset that I saw working behind all of this. I would like to bring you to a brief journey, don't worry, a brief journey of understanding better what your own interdependence looks like. Everything in nature is interconnected. Everything is depending upon one another. We breathe the air, we breathe out the CO2, it is used for plants. Plants are making the oxygen. We swim in the water. There is fish in the water. Everything makes a very complex ecosystem that is only surviving because of each other, right? I would like for you to play along with me for a minute and close your eyes. If you feel comfortable doing that. If you don't want to close your eyes, we can do it also the same way as we're doing it right now. I want you to remember your family, how the way they are, the people they are, the way they brought you up influenced your life. And how you have influenced theirs. Remember your first love or your first friend? How have you grown together? How have you influenced each other? What have you brought from those relationships into your other relationships, into different relationships with people? And now think about your first boss or your first client, or if you're just starting on a freelance journey, your first teacher. What did that experience bring to all the other experiences that you've had in your life? And how have you influenced them and their growth, business or personal? See, everything that we are doing is influencing other people and ourselves. And from my perspective and what I saw working so much in such a more interesting way is thinking about all of this strategically, thinking about how you can be part of it consciously, how you can be present in all of this. For me, interdependence is the state of being dependent upon one another. But I would even go further and change one word here, because dependent, unfortunately, has a bit of a negative connotation sometimes, like we give up something for the other person. I would like for you to see it as relying on one another, because it is indeed us being a bit more vulnerable with something when we are delegating a task, when we are involving other people in our business, when we are embarking on a journey with a new client that requires us to be more creative or resilient or invent things on the spot. It is always this game of us being vulnerable and trying to gain something out of this. And what I've seen for myself as I started seeing the whole interdependence in this way is it creates a support system that helps you become a better professional, a better person as well. And very often it happens that we need that support system in very, very tough times. And those times can be all these moments that make you feel like this. When you're sick, when you're overbooked and you're really, really overwhelmed, when your family needs some attention, when you need some time off and you don't want to just shut off your business because you're just one person, but also when you want to focus on your business growth and you want to take on another direction, when you need to spend some time to learn, all of this will help you get there, not only professionally, but also personally. And interdependence this way becomes about filling the gaps and connecting the dots. It's not only about doing something with another freelancer. It can be much more than that. And that's what I want to describe and explain to you today, is more of this mindset behind, a strategy behind it I've been using, and I've been quite successful, not in results, but in the satisfaction and the meaning that I have thanks to that. And I also know that today we're talking about all of this. So Elizaveta and Sana are going to give you much more practical tools, and they will tell also their perspective. But today I also want to share with you more of the strategy behind. So how can we create these interdependencies? Obviously, yes, we can collaborate with other freelancers, we can form collectives and work on different projects together. So for example, in first case, you would be overbooked and you just need someone with your similar skills to help you carry on that tasks. In the second case, you can actually work not only with the same people, but of your profession, but also someone related to your field. For example, that would be marketers working with designers and developers to work on complex and big projects. The next level would be to connect your clients between themselves and to bring those partnerships on the next level for them as well. This is next level because you're not thinking about you that much anymore, but you are also thinking about the long-term business goals of your clients, which is obviously giving them a lot of growth and professional advancement. You can therefore create joint activities with the clients and their partners. In my case, in the case of what I'm doing, it is a series of events that we are trying to organize because the restrictions are kicking in a very unpredictable moments. We are creating the series of events with one of our NGO partners here with Open Bulgaria, one of the organizations I'm actively working on, and our business partner, Co-working Space, to work on to bring this education and information about the Bulgarian business ecosystem. And the next one, this is kind of the next level for me, something that I'm aiming at working right now, is connecting other players in your fields or the fields around it and form meta partnerships. How I envision it, and something that I've been working on, is you bring together different organizations that are working on the same mission. Because at this point, if you see it as we are collaborating on bringing something bigger than ourselves to life, we are not competitors anymore. We can help each other grow. We can form a very interesting synergy to work on that mission and bring it all together, because we are complementing each other with our skills, our knowledge, and our networks. This is a very true to life scheme of how I organize my projects in my life. And you see, they're all connected between themselves. And I can give you several examples, actually. So with freelance business, for example, what was it, 3 years ago that we met with Elena? Because I was still in Belgium. I was living in Brussels, and I have been working, I'm still working for the organization, for the media publisher at the Bulletin, that is a publication for foreigners living in Belgium. And we formed a partnership there. But I continued working with them. And when I moved to Bulgaria, I co-founded a project called Open Sofia at that time. And I brought a lot of knowledge that I had about working in an international environment for an organization that is focused on developing the information and giving support to internationals living in Bulgaria at that point, and kind of put together everything. Then as Open Bulgaria here was developing, there were so many projects going on, and I met a lot of partners, and I managed to connect them together. And this big network is growing because I'm now thinking about how I can contribute professionally as Anna to their growth, for example, by giving lectures, but also as organizations, what we can do together. And obviously there are also people here. For me, this is the gold. And somehow it happened that I managed to bring some people across different projects. Even Božo here, he started as part of Open Sofia, and I saw him working, and I loved working with him. And when Elena and I started working on freelance business together, I brought him into the team as well, because it makes a lot of sense for me to just try to bring things together. Why does it matter? Or what it gives you? I saw those things for myself. That's what might happen to you as well. Obviously, exchange of ideas and experiences between people, because just because you have 1 or 2 or 3 or 10 more people, you have many more lives and life experiences that you're bringing together. Because you might work with people from different backgrounds and from different countries and from different professions and with different missions, you can learn from there a lot. As long as you keep your mind open, you will learn from anyone. And this obviously brings a lot of creativity to your life, because as you are connecting those dots, as you are seeing, how can I learn from here? What can I get here? How can I help here? This is opening your mind in a very different way. Another very cool thing, very ambitious as well, might happen is that as you are collecting this knowledge, and as you are growing in your profession as well, you might see how you can improve your very sector yourself, what you can bring there, the innovation that you can bring to your profession, because you are exposed to many other things and professions and experiences and tactics or strategies from other people as well. You can focus on the work that matters for you, because remember, we talked about filling the gaps. We talked about relying on someone with a better experience, with better knowledge, so that they can fill the gaps that you have. Therefore, you can as well focus on things that matter more to you, where you are genius at. you can focus on your own growth. That's how, you know, I just see me honing in the skills and focusing more and more on the things that matter for me, professionally and personally as well. Because obviously, when you're collaborating with people, even with one person, it's complicated. It can be difficult. Remember, all your you know, relationships or friendships or whatever, like any relationship, it's difficult to have a relationship with just one person. Imagine several. Imagine when you need to manage a team. Imagine when you need to manage several clients or several partners like that. But also because delegating and figuring out what you're the best at is not about taking on more stuff. And I'm saying this to myself as well, as I'm a bit overwhelmed with work, but also that you need to rest. You need to focus on your rest, because something changes when you start seeing yourself as not like a part of a system in a way, but in a way, yes, you are part of an ecosystem that you build, meaning that people rely on you as well. And you take much more responsibility of yourself, your own growth, and your own rest as well. Something that I love a lot, and that's probably me being just a very outgoing and extroverted person. I love people around me, virtually or physically, and this big village life of just talking to so many people every day and being involved in something is really boosting my sense of satisfaction in this life. And you're obviously solving problems together, meaning that you are creating some interesting solutions with other people. It's like playing together. It's really fun. But another thing is solving bigger problems, because you are together with someone and you can focus on something that you cannot take on yourself. But together, you're doing so much more. And you are also part of something bigger than yourself. It is humbling. It is exciting. It is something really, really stimulating as well. And I want to just say a couple of words about the bigger problems. When we see someone extremely motivated and excited by a big mission, something that is so grandiose and amazing, we are curious at least, but we might also want to join them somehow as well. We want to be part of it. And I've seen it. I'm not saying like it for nothing. I've seen me talking to people and just explaining what I do, and them being, what can I do? How can I join? For example, you remember that very complex graph? it's not really occasional that there are so many things involved in it. And if we dig a bit deeper, those things are really, really connected to each other, also on the level of mission. With Open Bulgaria, now we managed to grow country-wise because we brought together different partners in other cities as well, not only in the capital. And that's something that I aim at growing massively right now. But I also don't want to stop there. I want to grow a network, and I still don't know, I still don't see it all, but I want to grow a big, big, big ecosystem of organizations working on different levels that creates a welcoming and supportive environment to the internationals living in different countries. And whenever there is something, an organization or maybe media partnership or maybe a community already in other countries, I want to partner with them. I don't want to compete with them. I don't want to reinvent what they already created. And that's where also freelance business makes a lot of sense, because it is about independent professionals living whenever, doing whatever they want professionally, and collaborating between themselves. So now, as I'm saying this, and as you see the passion and desire, maybe at least one of you has at least a thought like, wow, that's cool. That sounds big, sounds interesting. And maybe at least one of you would be interested in joining that, well, one way or another. That's why when we are working on bigger problems, we attract people that have the guts and they have the desire to bring them together with us. people that want to work on small problems. Maybe small people want to work on small problems. But as we see the proximity of a big problem that could really make a lot of difference and change in other people's lives, we naturally want to be parts of it, because it's all about, again, being a big village. We're all human, connected to each other. We rely on each other, and we want to be part of this. So remember the bigger picture. Once again, this is something that I want to suggest, and I would like for you to exercise as a thought. But you obviously don't have to do that. If you don't want to be part of a big organization, a community, or you don't want to create something yourself, you are free to do whatever you want. But you are here right now. You wanted to listen to me, what it is that I want to say about interdependence and collaboration. So maybe you're here also for that. And from my perspective of someone who managed to somehow bring this all hot mess together, bigger picture could be the answer. So these are the questions that I ask myself whenever I take on something new, or whenever I introduce a new person to all this constellation of activities. How can I serve you? Can I help you get somewhere where you want? What you can teach me? Does it make sense for me to embark on this journey and to have this new thing on my plate as well? Oops. And yeah, that's it. Think about it for a second. And I'm talking a lot about this and all the different activities that I've created. So you can join these conversations on my LinkedIn as well.